Firstly, Kev, really good performance and a win on Tuesday night, wasn't it? But yeah, was it the manner of the performance that pleased you most on Tuesday?
I think all of it really. I think it's important to get 3 points on the board first and foremost, because you just wanted to back up a decent point away at Oldham, which was a tough one, and then obviously a team that were going so well in Eastleigh, so to get 3 points and a clean sheet was really important, and just to keep building momentum.
And when you've got so many players out injured as well, you really want the squad to sort of step in and show their qualities, and none more so than James Morton on Tuesday, who put in a really good performance.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and listen, I think right throughout the team they all put a shift in and played football when he wanted to, but without the ball as well, everyone contributed, and Mort's is someone we know is a good footballer, and played well. But we've got to keep building. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, is that the motivation for you now? You've seen that performance from your players, which you know that you can get, and it's about sort of doing that again and trying to do it on Saturday against Sutton. Yeah,
obviously, I think the performances have not been exactly where we want, but we've been getting better as the season's grown. It's been stop and start, obviously, when we have so many changes of personnel throughout the place, and you've got new players coming in. It takes time to integrate them and to get up to speed of what we do. But yeah, we want to keep building, and you've got to set your standards and you've got to stick to them. That's in training around the place, how you act, and especially when you cross the white line on a Saturday.
Yeah, and results breed confidence as well, and that probably plays a big part. I think the draw against Dagenham and then followed it up with a point against Oldham and then a really good win on Tuesday. Is that sort of building that momentum that you mentioned?
I think so. Yeah, I think it does build confidence. Obviously, results does do that. But once we've got the result, that's put to bed, and we look forward to the next game. And you've got to be prepared and ready for what's going to come, because again, it would be a team that's had a couple of results that haven't been great for them, but we'll be smart, and I'm sure we'll want a reaction. So we've been in this league long enough to know how tough it is, week in, week out, and you can't rest and can't wait. You've got to keep attacking every game.
Yeah, you mentioned Sutton there, and one of their players, the goalie, Steve Arnold, we know him very well. He should get a great reception on Saturday, shouldn't he?
Yeah, no, absolutely. What a brilliant character, and done brilliant for me here when he was obviously playing for us. But he went back into the league, and I'm sure Steve will get a warm welcome from everyone at the football club, and what a good pro and what a brilliant person as well.
Macaulay Bonne, you brought him in on Monday, and he got his first taste of action at Roots on Tuesday as well. How's he settled into the group? Good,
yeah, good. Obviously, he only done a light session Monday. The game Tuesday played a part, and obviously we trained today. So, pleased to have him on board, and I think the bit he showed the other night, you'll see what he'll bring to the team. But it's going to take time to get him fully up to speed in terms of, he's fit, but football fitness is slightly different, and we'll have to manage that and see where he's at going closer to games.
Yeah, and just finally as well, it's a busy period, isn't it? Yeah. And you've got that long trip coming up next week to Fylde next Tuesday, but of course we're full focus on Saturday. But when you have so many games in a short space of time, do you have to sort of taper the training in line with that?
Yeah, of course. I think Saturday to Saturday, the week looks slightly different, and it's about the amount of rest and recovery and the balance of training properly for the ones who've been on the bench or not playing enough. They need to work hard enough to be ready when they come in, because we're going to need bodies throughout this period of games. So yeah, be ready for it. We'll train as normal, as close to normal as possible we do, which is it happens in this league when there's so many games coming thick and fast, and just making sure we're ready for the next one.
Eastleigh made a really strong start to the season, and you made them look fairly average. Is that set a marker going forward for the rest of the season?
No, I think they're up there because they're a good side. I think let's not take that away from them. I think we performed well, but that happens. What you've got to have is a level of consistency. So we've got to try and get to that again and win football matches.
And your wing backs have been a real attacking threat this season. Is that something that you've been working on consciously sort of over the summer?
No. I think Gussie scored quite a few goals last year. Bridgie scored a lot last year. So, it's something we've always done.
And Arabin Pepple's been operating sort of as a lone striker up front. He hasn't got his goal yet, but his work rate, you must be really impressed with that.
Yeah, of course. I think, when we spoke to Luton about him, it was something we knew he'd bring, and for a young lad to play up there against Oldham tough centre halves, and the same again Tuesday night. He showed great determination and work rate, and he's had one or two opportunities without being real clear cut. So I'm sure he'd like to get a goal, and just to cap off what he's been doing for the team, and we'll see where he's at, and he needs a bit of help, which we've got with Macaulay. But been really pleased with him since he's come in.
And Jack Bridge has had a slight change of position now, playing more centrally. What have you made of his performances so far? No,
good. Yeah, Jack's done well. He's part of a team that's had to adapt slightly to things. But Jack's he's a good pro. He's a good footballer. And I think good footballers enjoy playing with others as well. So, in terms of wherever he is on the pitch, and expect the same basics of the game in terms of when we've got the ball and when we ain't got the ball. But no, delighted with Jack.
You've had to make some tweaks at the back, obviously, as well, but you've only conceded 6 goals in 7 games, and that's sort of carrying over the good form from last season, so you must be delighted with your back line. Yeah,
obviously we've had changes, but it's the structures we try and have in place, and they all should know it. It all takes, as you say, tweaking here and there, and there's been change of personnel. So pleased with the lads the other night against the test, against a top player in Paul McCallum as well. But listen, that game's gone, as I say, and we can talk about what's gone on, but we've got to keep focused on Saturday, and another real tough one that they've got to face and we've got to face as a team.
Talking about Sutton, they're in quite bad form themselves, lost 3 on the bounce. They're still a quality side, having come down from League 2, so they're obviously going to be looking to get back to winning ways, aren't they?
Yeah, of course, and listen, they'll be a good side. I watched them against Forest Green, there was nothing in that. So it can happen in this league. It can happen that you lose games, and I'm sure they'll want a reaction. And I've been under no doubt that they'll be a real tough opponent, and will come and give us a good game. But thinking of ourselves, we've got to perform.
Just finally, Kevin, you've been quite open about that. This has been quite a difficult time for yourself and for the club. But all of that in mind, I think Southend are averaging the highest attendances at home in the league. Yeah. What would you say to the fans?
Yeah, absolutely incredible. Which after the takeover and everything that's gone on, listen, we knew we'd be supported. I think that goes without saying, and not just at home but away from home. The numbers we travel in tells you, where we're at as a club, supporter base wise. What we've got to do as a club is back that up with how we are, and everything around the place. That let's keep the standards high, don't drop, and keep pushing. Because listen, we all want success, but as a collective, the consortium have come in, myself, the staff, we want success, and of course the fans. But we know what we've got to do to get there. And does it take open overnight? No. We've got to build, and there's going to be bumps along the road, but we're all part of the journey. We're all in it together. Let's go enjoy that journey, and hopefully at the end of it there'll be success.
Injury-wise, is it still the same, or is Josh Walker getting a little bit closer to coming back?
Yeah, probably still the same. There's obviously Cav's going to be out for a number of weeks. Josh has been out doing some work on the grass, but still a bit off. And obviously Ollie Coker and Danny Waldron are a number of weeks away still.
Yeah, is Jack Bridge right? Just a bit of a kick, was it, towards the end of the game?
Yeah, I think just a kick, but so yeah, he's trained, so fingers crossed he'll be okay.
And there were so many good performances on Tuesday night, in particular. Sort of Joe Gubbins may not be one that gets sort of mentioned, but defensively and the crosses that he was putting in as well. Just a word for him and how he's done.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Joe. Listen, we had him on loan, so we know him quite well, of course, and it gives us good balance with that left foot. And it can provide a lot of outlets for us as well. So no, pleased with him. Obviously stepping in, it's good, but defensively as well, I think that's the most important thing first and foremost as a defender. But yeah, as you say, a number of good performances, but that's gone. They've got to back it up now.